Hello and welcome to this introduction to Overdrive session. This event will focus on the use of Overdrive as an intranet. So hopefully everybody's in the right event. My name is Sean Power and I also have my colleague Ian Weatherhog with me. Ian is the Chief Technical Officer for Overdrive and will be helping with any questions raised during the session. So do you want to say hello, Ian?
Hello everybody. Hi Sean. Good afternoon. Good morning, depending on where you are.
Excellent, thank you. So the event today will last around 30 minutes, including questions and answers, and we'll make a recording available afterwards, so you can review the information or share with your colleagues as you see fit. If you have any questions during the event, then please use the chat box in the right-hand side of the screen, and we'll answer any questions raised at the end of the session. We do have a special section ready for Q&A. We'll reply directly after the session for those we don't get to answer during it. Okay, so Overdrive is designed for organizations using G Suite. It's deeply integrated with G Suite and lets you create a website or a portal automatically from content held in Drive and elsewhere across G Suite and beyond. With Overdrive, you can create great looking web pages and portals without the need for specialist skills. You can simply decide what content you wish to share, choose from a wide range of page types to suit your content and the audience, and then you add your users. You'll see how this works in the demonstration later. Your staff or other users will have easy online access to the resources and information that they need. And also, as an added bonus, any site created by Overdrive is automatically mobile friendly, so your users can access the site on any device they choose. And one of the key strengths of Overdrive is the range of potential uses that it has. Things such as intranets and extranet, education portals, or even an ad hoc event site can all be created using Overdrive. And as you'll see in the demonstration, a site can be created very quickly to share information with people inside the organization. But Overdrive can also be used to share information externally, again, quickly and easily. Again, another use of Overdrive. Overdrive is hosted on Google Cloud Platform, and Google uses GCP to host its own services, including Gmail, Drive, YouTube, Search, etc. And GCP provides global scalability and world-class security for Overdrive. And we have Overdrive customers worldwide. And here is a selection from different industries and locations, and also different uses of Overdrive, as you can see. And with some customers, such as Tarmac and Western Homes, we have created customized Overdrive solutions to meet their specific needs. And Overdrive sites can be made public on request. And a good example of this is the UNESCO Sardona, which uses Overdrive to share large quantities of scientific research information with their audience. So we now have two demonstrations for you after that quick overview. The first is a video of the site creation process, so you can see that in action. And then I'll show you a few features of Overdrive on our live public intranet demonstration site and focus particularly on the intranet features. So firstly, the site build process.
With Overdrive, you can set up a great looking site in minutes using content from Google Drive. Today I'm going to create a basic intranet site for my company Sanford. The site will be used for sharing information and resources with colleagues, for collaboration and for various company-wide workflows. Overdrive sites are built from Google Drive folders, and for this site I'm going to start with this area, which is already in use in my company. The Documents folder has subfolders and a variety of file types, as you can see, and the News folder contains news articles in the form of Google Docs. Once I've connected Overdrive to Drive, I can use this menu to both create new sites and jump across to existing sites. I'm going to sign in using my Google account, but I can also configure my site to allow users to sign in using Facebook, Office 365, or using an email address and password. This interactive tour that's popped up is great for finding your way around Overdrive when you come to build your own site. But I'll close it down for now. My site design is looking a bit basic, so I'm going to find my company logo. And now use Template Designer to pick a template that suits my corporate colors. These advanced settings give me lots more control over the design and layout, but the site's looking fine for now. As you can see, my site's been automatically created using the content in Google Drive. Notice how all of the folders from my Drive folder are now pages in the menus, and they'll stay in sync if I make changes in here or in Drive. And the contents of the folders has been brought across. Now all my users have friendly, easy access to our company files without having to use Drive. Users with edit permissions are able to create and upload new files and edit existing ones. This folder contains the key forms that my colleagues need to get to every day. I can switch it to an icons view to make it easy to navigate. The news folder has an important role on my new site, so I'm going to make it look a bit better. I'm going to use Page Builder over here on the pencil icon to turn the folder tile into a blog. Each article now shows with the thumbnail image extracted from the doc and the first few sentences of text. When I click to view an article, there's a comments tile below each one to encourage feedback from our users. Now the home page, which is always an important page for any site. The assets folder is where I'm going to keep logos and other files needed for the site, but I don't need it to appear in the menus, so I'll switch it off like this. This About Google Doc is my explanation to my users of what the site is all about, and I do want this one to appear in the menus. Now I'm going to use Page Builder again to replace the folder tile with some more interesting content. I'm going to start with an image box and pick something inspirational to brighten things up. Now as I move down the other tile categories, from Google Drive you'll see I can add folders and files from my Drive and shared drives, as well as content from other G Suite apps including Calendar, Contacts, Maps and Photos. From social networks, I'm going to add a Twitter tile. Overdrive is also integrated with other cloud apps such as Microsoft OneDrive and Smartsheet, and has a variety of other tiles to aid productivity such as workflow and collaboration such as this discussion tile. Now to finish my page off, I'm going to change the welcome text and turn off the side menu just for the home page. And there we have it, a great looking site in around 5 minutes that will form the basis of my new G Suite powered intranet.
That's great. So hopefully that's given you an idea of how easy it is to create sites using Overdrive. Now what we can do is drill down into more details of creating a site for an intranet. So for that purpose, I'm going to use our public intranet site. This is a demonstration site where it shows you some other features. We'll send you a link to this site after today's session so you can visit it yourself. And as mentioned in the previous video, there is a tour of the site available which shows you some of the features, and I'd encourage you to review that tour as it shows you the features on the site. For this part of the event, I will show you a handful of the many features available, which are useful when using Overdrive as an intranet site. And to start with, this is the home page. It is quite busy for a home page, but it highlights some of the features which might be appropriate for yours. So for instance, we have a static image. We have a report coming from Google Data Studio, which is easy to see. We also have a live YouTube video, which can play on the site, and an RSS feed as well for live information coming through onto the site to keep it fresh. Now, what I want to show you is one or two other things. So one of the great features of Overdrive is its ability to display content in different ways. So I'm coming down here to the manuals section of the site, and I'll click on Business Process Manual. And this page shows an embedded Google Doc. So here we take the contents from a doc and embed them directly onto the page. And in this case, on this page, we have added a neat feature of pagination of the document to make navigation easier for our users, as you can see. You can also provide the ability for users to edit the document on this page without ever leaving Overdrive, as we saw earlier. And it is possible to share other types of content with users on your intranet site too using Overdrive. And another example of that is our contact information. So here we're sharing contact information, and in this case, the contact data is coming directly from Google Contacts. So here we see a list of contacts, and I have the opportunity to choose what information is displayed in this list for my users. And I can also filter this list to find the information which is relevant for me. And if I want to, I can click through onto the contact and find further information that isn't displayed in the main list. So this is a great example of how Overdrive can take existing G Suite data and enhance the presentation of it, as well as making it easy to share with my users. We can collect information from your intranet users in a variety of ways, and an example of that is in our travel authorization. Here we are showing a Google form, which is one of the many form types that Overdrive supports, so users can complete this information as requested. And Google Forms store their responses in Google spreadsheets. So here in this admin only page, we're showing the responses spreadsheet embedded with powerful sorting and filtering to make it easier, again, to find the information that we're interested in. And some of the columns have been hidden to make it easier to read. And when I click on a row, I see all the responses data as completed in the form. We can embed other types of document in your intranet, and on the Performance All Reports page, we are showing a series of Google Data Studio reports, as you can see. And these reports are interactive, and they're an ideal way to display all kinds of reports to your intranet users. Now, discussions are an important element of most intranet sites, and Overdrive caters for these well. And on this ideas forum here, we're providing the option of including discussions on pages with other content or on a particular page dedicated to the forum, as in this case. So that's all I wanted to show you on the intranet demo site for now. There will be plenty of other features available which you might want to explore and which are contained within the site. So I'd encourage you to visit it and run through the tour when you have the opportunity. And again, we'll send you the links after the session. So here's a quick summary of the main benefits of using Overdrive. As you saw in the demonstrations, an Overdrive site can be created automatically using Drive folders and files. And building a site is fast and efficient compared to with traditional methods, and no specialist skills are required, as mentioned previously. Many types of content can be transformed automatically into powerful and user-friendly web pages. And pages can be easily updated or maintained by editing the original file, either from the site itself or from Drive. The sync between Overdrive and the source location enables the site to be automatically updated when content changes at either end. Overdrive pricing starts at $1 per user per month, and there's a 25% discount available for education and non-profit organisations. The number of sites is unlimited, which means that users can create as many sites for as many different uses as they need. And we have further information on the pricing plans on our website, which is overdrive.io. And again, we'll send you the link after this event. So I want to come to questions now. So I'll hand over to Ian to handle those questions.
Thank you, Sean. Great. I've been quite a few very interesting questions coming in. The first couple quite early on were from Doug, who asks, firstly, can you tag files and filter by those tags? Yes, you can, Doug. When you're looking at a file list, sorry, a folder list in Overdrive, there's a filter box on the right-hand side, which has a drop down on it, and you can filter files by their locations. So where files exist in multiple places, their locations, their additional locations get used as like tags. So I might have a videos folder, and I categorize the videos by experience level or topic or what year they were produced, and those show up as filters, drop-down filters. So they're additional locations, but they serve as tags. Doug's other question was, does a viewer you grant access to the site have to have a Google account? Great question, and the answer is no. We support sign-in from several different providers, including Office 365 or Microsoft, LinkedIn, and email address and password. We also allow people to sign in using Okta and Salesforce, which I'll cover in a second. So lots of different ways of allowing users to sign in, but also you can have a site that's completely public. So, or obviously a site that is half and half, so there's a public section to it, and then people are invited to sign in to get access to deeper content, and so on. And they definitely don't need to have a Google account. Suffice, I hope I've pronounced that correctly, says, are you able to use single sign-on with Overdrive? And I chatted back to find out if that meant specific kind of SSO, single sign-on, and I think the answer was that it was Google SSO. Well, yes, I mean, we kind of are just using Google SSO all the time. That is the sort of initial login, which you saw in the demo, the first demo. So that is single sign-on across a G Suite domain. And as I mentioned a minute ago, we also have single sign-on with providers like Okta, SAML, and Salesforce. Eric asks, can it integrate from G Suite admin, like users and org units? Eric, directory sync is on our roadmap. It's in an advanced stage of development. We have got some of our users running it in a beta, but we haven't launched it publicly yet. When it becomes available, it'll do two things. The first thing is it'll surface that directory data onto pages. So Sean showed us a contacts page, which was using Google Contacts, but with the directory integration, we'll be showing the full G Suite directory with group memberships and groups as filters and org units as filters. So that's the first way that it'll work. And the second way that it'll work is it'll control user access and provisioning. So you'll be able to pick groups or org units and authorize them to use the site, and then Overdrive will restrict the site to those groups and org units. I hope that answers that question. And finally, a question from, oh no, not finally, because Ralph said, can you apply metadata to files? Not at this stage, Ralph. We just maintain the same Drive data. We have some of our own metadata, which is sort of keywords and descriptions and things like that, but we don't have custom metadata at this time. Patrick asks, I shared my site with another Gmail user and it seemed like he could edit the page. Could it be static like a real website? Well, yes, I mean, Sean showed some pages where content was embedded, and that is absolutely totally static. And we use the embed, the term embed in a particular way. When we show a Google Doc or a Google form, sort of, you know, in the same way that Google Sites does, we call that framed. When we embed it, it really is, it becomes part of the page, and you can't tell that it was ever a Google Doc. But if you use the framed approach, then the file will be read-only unless you set it to be editable. So those are Drive permissions. Typically, with a public website or a website that you're sharing with externally, you would have you wouldn't set the files to be anyone can edit, because you never know when those files are going to be randomly found by somebody. Brian asks, could it be possible to restrict admin editing rights to specific pages? Not at this time, Brian, but it is on our roadmap, and I've got a feeling I know which Brian that is. So yes, that's in the plan, but at the moment the access to pages is restricted according to roles and groups, but having admin edit rights to specific pages is not yet available. And Mark asks, does it integrate with shared drives, or team drives as they're now known? Yes, absolutely. Mark, when you pick a site, when you pick a folder to create your site, you can choose from team drives, shared drives, or My Drive. So either will work absolutely fine. I can still see more questions are coming in, but I think that's probably all we've got time for now, Sean.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. And thank everybody for the questions that they put on. If there are any other questions that you have, then feel free to send them through. So just to finish, here are some recommended next steps. So you could create a trial site to try out some of the features shown in this demonstration. And also we'll send you the links after this session to our public demonstration sites, including the intranet one we showed you briefly earlier. So you can visit them, take the tour, see what your finished sites may look like. And if you have more complex requirements, we can arrange an individual call or consultation with either ourselves or one of our partners. And we'll look at your requirements in detail and advise on the best approach. So we will follow up with that information shortly. So if there are any more questions which you've got, then please come back to us and we'll happily help from that point. So I thank everybody for their time, and hopefully speak to you soon.